Every time something happens in the world, people run around, it's the end of the world. In these last days, it's famines and wars. The wars and the famines the Bible spoke about is not the wars and the famines we are in, because the Bible is history that ended 70 AD. Rome was an upcoming empire, and he was trying to gain ground everywhere, and the whole world was in war. It was crazy, and there was famines and pestilences. The biggest broke out in Jerusalem when they were taking Jerusalem. So all these spooks about last days and wars, it cannot be for us, because I will explain to you where last days in the Bible comes from. Remember, Bible is history written down in a period of 1,600 years, but the Spirit takes it beyond. The first book, Genesis, the last book, Revelation, are spiritual books. We need to understand the spiritual language that binds the word within the history of humanity to understand the purposes of God. The first time we read about last days was in the book of Deuteronomy. Now, this was at the end of Moses' life, the one that wrote the book of Genesis. In Deuteronomy 31, God says to him, these people are going to send themselves bankrupt. I want you to go write them a song. And he went immediately, and he wrote the song, and he came back, and he said to the people that after my death, you will sing yourself to a pulp. And God said, I must teach you the words of this song. And he had the whole nation stand there, and I hope he didn't sing it to them. I hope he just read it to them, because it's a song. Now, if you talk about a song, everything has a song. The whales have a song. The stars have a song. There's a song in your heart. Now, some of you only have the song that Neil Diamond sang, song sung blue, everybody knows one. I know we all have blues. But now, this song that he sang to them, it's about the evil that will befall you in your latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. Deuteronomy 31:19. This is bad. If you have to carry a song that your end is destruction, you're not going to get out of it. How in the world do you carry a song like that? So in Deuteronomy 32, Moses actually sang them the song, and I would suggest you go listen to the song. And God says, I will put this in my treasury. I will seal it and put it in my treasury. Now, Deuteronomy 29:29 says, what is sealed belongs to God. What is opened belongs to us. It means if it belongs to God, it means God doesn't want to bring it. But the minute it's opened, oh my word, then it's going to happen. This is very important to know, the sealing and the closing. So we know that the whole nation of Israel was taken to Babylon, and they did not repent and turn to God. And then God said to Daniel, now 70 years of 7 will be upon your people, upon the city. Go seal it. So those seals are joining these seals. We need to understand, when are these seals open? In the book of Revelation 5, there was a book sealed, written within and on the back. So the forward side was not written, but it was sealed with 7 seals. It's all these things. And he says, we'll open the book, and no one was able to. But then the lion came, which turned into the lamb, and he opened the book. And what happened? The seals were broken. What seals? The seals that Daniel sealed, these seals, these things that was sealed in the treasury, which God didn't want to bring. Now, when Jesus came out of the temptation, he took the book of Isaiah and said, this is the year of the favor of the Lord. He never mentioned the day of vengeance because he wanted it sealed. But because they turned against him, usurped the kingdom, and then he had to go to the cross, the seals were open. So the minute Jesus was crucified, the seals opened. You cannot read Revelation without reading Deuteronomy, because you're going to mix up your times. Now, if you go back to Deuteronomy 32, I just want to read like 4 verses out of the song, and you will say, oh my word. There's one verse in Revelation that's crazy. He says, well, there's not one, there's a lot, but if you understand it, it's not crazy at all. Then the natural mind is crazy, because these things are open if you just read it. He says, the 2 witnesses lay dead in the street of Sodom and Egypt, where the Lord was crucified. Then in Revelation 17, 18, 19, he talks about Babylon. Babylon. The woman riding in Babylon, the great whore written on her head, which talks about Israel, who became a whore. Isaiah 1. That allied with Rome to take out the Christ. See, all these things are in one. You become what you worship. So what it means, if they are called Egypt and they are called Babylon, they became that because they didn't want to let go of Egypt. They used the blessings of God to make a calf to worship Egypt's gods. They wanted to go back to onions and garlic. Can you believe it? Deuteronomy 31:19. The evil will befall you in your latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. Verse 24 and 5. They shall burn and be burned with hunger and devoured with burning heat and bitter destruction. Oh my word, Isaiah says, they have changed light for darkness, darkness for light, good for evil, evil for good, bitter for sweet, sweet for bitter. So it says, I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them. Come on, from Babylon, we read about the statue, which is actually 4 beasts. A lion, a bear, a leopard, and a very ferocious one with terrible teeth crushing. And we pick it up in Revelation 13, which is one animal that has the mouth of a lion, claws like a bear, he looks like a leopard, and is empowered by the dragon. Teeth, biting, crushing. Oh my word. And the poison of serpents of the dust. He said to Satan, you serpent, you're going to sail the dust. Your food is going to be the dust. That is why death reigned. Meaning, this means death is going to come to you. The sword without terror within shall destroy both the young man, the virgin, the suckling, also the young man and the man of gray hairs. When Rome surrounded Jerusalem, inside there was 3 factions that were fighting each other. So every time the trumpet in Revelation blow, one of these factions were destroying themselves on the inside. There was more destruction on the inside than on the outside. The crosses were miles and miles on the hills, because everybody that escaped Jerusalem were crucified. They were the ones that cried, "Set his blood come on us, crucify him. We have no king but Caesar." You see, all these things come together. Now God is out of time. He knows everything. It amazes me that he still puts it in man's hands. So every turning point and every season, man had a choice to stop it and go into God's plan, but man wouldn't. So what God did is he went all the way and paid the price. 32, listen to this. Their vine is the vine of Sodom, and their fields are the fields of Gomorrah. The grapes are grapes of gulls, and clusters are bitter. So what they became is they became like Sodom and Gomorrah unto God. This is the song of Moses. Now I'm going to read you one verse in Revelation. Sit back and get the revelation. And they sang the song of Moses and the song of the Lamb. So Isaiah prophesies, he says, sing a new song, sing a new song, sing a new song. Maybe we should start singing the song of the Lamb. You are redeemed, you are washed, you are set free. If your heart condemns you, God is bigger than your heart. What?